I grew up in an oil field family. While most teens' after school jobs were in fast food or working in retail, I spent my days washing winch tractors and cleaning well site trailers. By 15, I was a half decent swamper. I could often be found helping move drilling rigs and tank farms on the Suffield block. The industry was good to me and my family. I watched in awe as my dad built up several successful companies, not only supporting his own family, but hundreds across the province. But our story is hardly unique. There are hundreds of small service companies across the West. They move rigs, rent equipment, frack, and drill. And more than that, they support their communities. You'd be hard pressed to walk into a hockey or curling rink and not see a sign thanking a local oil and gas entrepreneur for supporting the facility and the teams that play within it. Oil and gas is more than just an industry, it's a way of life. It's not for the faint of heart to spend weeks and sometimes months at an isolated drilling and mining location, away from friends, family, working in the bitter cold in the winter months and trying to stay cool in the hot summer sun. This is all too overlooked by the Eastern elite who seek to shut down the lifeblood of the Western Canadian economy. When they say, leave it in the ground, these aren't shots at Alberta, Saskatchewan's government. No, they're shots at the everyday Canadians that work hard to put food on their tables, raise their kids right, and build a comfortable retirement. The demand for oil will peak one day, but that day won't be anytime soon. There's hardly a facet of our modern lives that doesn't require a petroleum product in some form. The environmentalists scream that we're killing the planet, but the truth is Canadian oil and gas is the cleanest petroleum industry on earth. If the world needs oil, why shouldn't it be Canadian oil? From emission caps to carbon taxes, no more pipelines and tanker bans, the federal Liberal government in Ottawa has put roadblocks and barriers in the way of the West's most vital industry. But still, the industry thrives. The industry thrives, hitting an all-time production high in 2023. And more than that, we're doing it cleaner than we ever have. In 2022, the industry cleaned up over 8,000 oil leases, busting the myth that Alberta doesn't care about the environment. At the same time, we have reduced methane emissions 45% since 2014, 3 full years ahead of schedule. Just like it took Alberta innovation to get the oil out of the ground, Alberta innovation is making it cleaner and more responsible. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she'd like to take a page out of the Americans' book by becoming the world's largest oil and gas producer, while simultaneously reducing emissions. As the Western Standard Sean's Pulser tells it, south of the border, lower 48 production has undergone a miracle transformation, nearly tripling from about 4.5 million barrels per day in 2010 to an all-time record of 13 million barrels per day in 2023. According to the Energy Information Agency, no country on Earth has ever produced that much oil since it was first discovered in 1857. Meanwhile, US CO2 emissions in absolute terms have fallen a minimum of 25% since 2007, even as oil and gas production have reached new heights. Smith says the American experience can be replicated here in Alberta as well. Well, I agree with the Premier. We can and we will do it here. We have all the tools at our disposal. Engineers, scientists, and geologists working around the clock to extract our resources in the cleanest way they can. For now, it's clear the Liberal and NDP coalition aims to shut down the industry. We can only hope that a change in Ottawa will get the federal government out of the industry's way and instead get behind it.